and welcome to A Better Way to Food Truck podcast. I'm your host, Jay McFarland. Today, I've got another special guest for you, Greg Colella. He's out of Phoenix, Arizona, and he is a food truck operator. And not just one food truck. You're not going to believe how many trucks this guy is running, and you're going to love his story and his excitement for the food truck business. And as a reminder, this podcast is produced and sponsored by Order Up Apps. If you're looking for a better way to food truck, you don't need to look any further than Order Up Apps. They're there for your ordering and marketing needs. Not only are they official Square partners, they offer custom branded ordering apps and marketing tools made for food truck operators. You can get a free 14-day trial at orderupapps.com today. All right, Greg, it's a real pleasure talking to you today. I'm curious, give me a little bit about your background. Why the food truck industry?
Well, our family has always actually done food trucks. We've had route trucks for 30 years. I'm right out of high school. I graduated, got right into the food truck business. We had our own warehouse, our own commissary. So we did the route trucks. And then the gourmet trucks kind of came on 2008, 2009. The economy actually was down a little bit, and they started these gourmet trucks. And I thought, you know what, we need to get in on that because our route trucks were kind of going down a little bit. People didn't have as much money. And I think instead of going out to restaurants, they would do these roundups where there'd be all these gourmet food trucks. They could take their families and everybody can eat whatever they want. So we started the Burgers Amore truck as our first truck. And we jumped in on that, and that went pretty good. We were pretty successful. We got to do a lot of events. It was something different. People liked us. So we've been doing that ever since. That's kind of where it got started.
I'm fascinated. A food truck family business going back 30 years. I think that's amazing. The other thing that jumped out to me, Burgers Amore, is it an Italian twist on the hamburger or just the name of the truck?
You would think so. It's more that, hey, New Jersey, hey, get out of my face. No, just because we're Italian, everything was like Greasy Tony, or it was again the Skinny Snooky, or so we want the mustaches too, just to make it fun, especially with like kid events. We'd leave mustaches out, but just because we're from Jersey, that was our theme. I got a cousin Robbie from Italy, so we called it. We have a Robbie chicken sandwich. So now we have an Uncle Al, which I have an Uncle Al. Everybody has an Uncle Al if you're Italian. So we just kind of named it, kind of went to the Italian theme. People liked it. And again, well, we put the little burger and the mustache thing everywhere. So there's times that we've done like little news segments, they want us to show food before a big event, like promoting stuff. And we'd always tell the newscasters, hey, here's a mustache, put a mustache on. So, it just kind of made it fun. And again, we're doing schools or churches, we'd leave little mustaches, and people be walking around with mustaches all over. And kind of easy, quick promotion. People go, hey, where'd you get that? Go to the Burger Amore truck. They'll get you some mustaches. So this is kind of a cool thing to do, and people seem to like it. So it's kind of our theme.
Yeah, kind of fun. It really helps with the branding, makes it memorable.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and we have, like I said, we do have if you see, we have like 5 other themed trucks. I mean, burgers is kind of what I focus on. My sister started Queso Good, so they do quesadillas, a queso truck, fry bread, and grilled cheese. So they have other themes, but this is the one that kind of started it out, was the Burgers Amore.
And I'm curious, you start with one truck, and there are people who start with one truck and they stay with one truck because that's, it's just easier to maintain. You didn't stop with one truck. How many trucks do you have now?
Well, we're like food trucks on steroids. That's what people say. Well, we start with one again. Then we went my sister said, hey, let's try a Mexican truck, which is another good one. People like Mexican food here. If you have 2, then you can go do a wedding and you want to have a burger truck and a Mexican truck. So we went with Queso Good. Now the burger truck, we built up to really 4. When we were really busy, we ran as many as 7. But right now we run about 4 burger trucks because we would keep getting more and more events. So let's get another truck. we started with Mexican. They have 6 trucks, 6 Queso Good trucks. But then we said, man, we already have the connections. We do all the city events. We do private parties. We have the websites. We have people booking, myself, my sister. Boy, let's start a fry bread truck. So boom, you throw that in there. And now, every time we're doing these events, you just put applications in, these roundups, and we have a fry bread truck. And we just kind of kept going. Hey, let's do, we have a cheesesteak truck called Rocco's, which is also kind of Italian a little bit. Rocco's cheesesteaks. So we have that. We tried a grilled cheese truck. My sister married a guy named Dave, real nice guy. He ran the grilled cheese truck. It was the original grilled cheese truck. It actually became a franchise in California. So she had a little connection there. So it was easy to start a cheese truck. She went with a hippie theme called Cheese Out. And they do grilled cheese, Philly cheesesteak. So as you book one, it's just easier to book others and others. And then you have these for booking events. It was, let's say we're doing apartments. Well, burgers going 1 week. The next week, grilled cheese. The next week, Rocco's. The next week, fry bread, Queso Good. So when we start getting these locations, you can just rotate your own in. We rotate others in, of course, but we run those. And I mean, we can start anything. We could do a barbecue truck, or my sister's had 100 crazy ideas. Let's do a Hawaiian truck. Let's do a Euro Greek truck, whatever. And then we just throw them in the mix. So you could, but I think we're done now. We'll see. She was going to do a chicken truck at one time.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah. So these trucks aren't all out at the same time. You're not running a separate crew for each truck?
Kind of. They kind of we'll normally run, maybe 10 a day. So
Okay.
yeah, but they'll be different. And our cooks will cross train. So some of my cooks can do Queso Good, or some can do, we have a Rockstar hot dog and burgers, which is some gourmet dogs with burgers. So yeah, like today we have 2 burgers going out. There's probably a couple of each of the others. So I think we can run about 10 a day. And we usually do. My sister, we keep them booked pretty much, doing apartments and HOAs, things like that, in events, private parties. So yeah, probably 10 a day.
And where do you put all these trucks, and what type of commissary do you have to service all of these trucks?
Yeah, we actually have a big commissary. I should just send you a picture of that. But we have a big commissary, our own commissary, 2 mechanic shops, because it's constant mechanical work. That's an issue with having trucks, especially multiple trucks. People have individuals you have to keep up with maintenance. But yeah, we have a big commissary that parks probably up to 100 trucks, because
Wow.
then we have route trucks. The route trucks are the ones that go on daily routes. We have about 75, 80 of those. So if you put them together, we're about 100 trucks altogether. So it's a lot. And we have covered parking. Each truck plugs in right where they're at. And then other trucks, independents, can come and come to our place also. We have some independents that'll park in our yard. So they don't really buy food from us, but they can dump, they can throw their trash. They can plug and park in and wash right there. So
Yeah,
yes.
I was going to ask you about routes, because everything you talked about, you were talking about events. So you're going to different events. So you also send out daily trucks just to businesses and those types of places.
Yeah, which we call route trucks, which really
Yeah.
started us off. And that's we started the gourmets from the routes. But yeah, we have about maybe 80 route trucks. We have, I think, 8 of them that go to, let's say, Intel. We're a big Intel in Chandler. We have like 8 trucks that go there. And then each, so many in Glendale, so many in Mesa, Peoria, Tempe, Chandler. They're all over the place. Those are the route trucks, and they have the same route every day. Yeah.
Wow, I'm fascinated. I'm also curious, with the pandemic, how did that affect your business, and what changes did you have to make in order to survive the pandemic?
Yeah, it was scary, like for everybody else. I've worked for restaurants, of course, but when it first happened, we were like, man, what are we gonna do? We have no events. It was like, my calendar was booked. We were doing February, March, April, May, our peak season. We're a little bit seasonal, and all of a sudden, hey, we have to cancel this. We have to cancel this. Car shows, art events, private parties. It was just crazy. We're like, oh, what are we gonna do? And then what really kept going was, because especially as restaurants closed, was the like the HOA and like apartments, because people still wanted to get food. So another thing was donations. We set up where people can donate meals for hospitals, for police, and we did a lot of that at first also, where people just would donate money, then we would go do meals for some hospitals or for police groups, for firemen. So we did that also. But believe it or not, the whole HOA and apartments we're still doing. So they've gone really well. RV resorts. Yeah. So we would just, hey, we're going to go to this one on Wednesday. And again, we would rotate our trucks each week, but we're going to go to this one on Thursday, and you promote it. They could order ahead, come pick up. Everything went to go boxes. On my truck, no more pumps and bottles for condiments. Everything was little packets, ready to go box again. So we had to change a little bit. We used to have the produce, the lettuce, tomato, onions, pickles, were all in a station outside. People get their own produce. And then now our cook's like, oh, we got to put everything on. It slowed us down a little bit. But and then from there, we actually stayed even more busy, I guess, when people started to go back. Let's say the teachers went back, and when workers went back, then they wanted to feed their people, but people didn't want to do buffets. So ideally, we use food trucks. So we started doing a lot of hospitals, FedEx, Amazon, Walmart's, Home Depots. Lowe's. They want to feed their people. And the quick way to do it is have a truck out there. Even on the holidays, where we're so busy in November and December, serve a mattress. So, hey, let's feed our people. So we could, and we would change our menu. We could do like Thanksgiving dinners: turkey, mashed potatoes, gravy, corn, roll, and butter. Put them in to-go boxes. They line up and just bam, 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 head them out the window. But they didn't have to do buffets. So with the catering, that took off also. We're still doing a lot of catering. During hospital week, I think we worked every day and night, doing all these different hospitals, feeding workers. Yeah, the money was donated by different companies just to feed the workers. So we've been busy. And then now, of course, restaurants are open, and I think they're going again too. People always need to eat, apparently. So,
yeah. Well, and I didn't think about it before you mentioned it, but a food truck is actually kind of works really well in the pandemic model. You have a natural barrier between you and the customers, and you can go to them. They don't have to come to you, and they can social distance much more effectively outside. So you can space them out very well.
We put the tape out. We have the sign out. Get the signs. Social distancing. Wear our masks. Yeah, wear gloves, of course. But yeah, and you're outside. So and again, those food truck roundups, I mean, they were always going before, but now they're still going, because now it's a place people can go take their families. They're all 20 trucks all spread out outside, so people felt pretty comfortable. I think at first they didn't have the tables and chairs out, so people can get their food and kind of go. But yeah, they're still going. There's probably 4 or 5 here in Phoenix or in Arizona that do those big Friday night roundups, Saturday roundups, they call them. So those have been good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's very cool. I'm curious. I've seen this lately, where a food truck gets very successful. They get their brand out there and they say, oh, this is great. We're going to set up a brick and mortar. Has that ever been a temptation for you? Never?
No, people do. There's another burger truck, actually, Aioli. He's done that. I think he's done okay. He's got a couple locations. But there's others. There's a pizza. They had a truck and they did a restaurant. Now they're both gone. Nothing I want to do. I have zero desire to do that. I mean, I could start 5 new trucks before I would do that. It's just a brick and mortar. It ties you down. You got all those hours. I think you got a lot of overhead. I don't know, but there have been trucks that do that, and I think they've been some successful, some not. But yeah, I have no desire to do brick and mortar, especially after COVID. Now I really don't want to do brick and mortar.
Right.
But no, we're just a little more flexible. Like right now, summertime, 118 degrees today. I do not want to work, but I have to. No, this week is bad, but summertime, you can slow it down. You don't have to take as much on. You can pick and choose a little bit. You can say we're booked, even though you may not be. So you can kind of control your schedule a little bit. So, but when you're at a restaurant, you're open. Those are your hours, and those are your hours. So, yeah, not for me. I don't want to do that. We're good at what we do. So why change it?
And are you mostly in a management overseeing position, or do you still go out in the trucks?
I was on a truck last night. Yeah,
You were
I'm on a truck tonight. Yeah. Okay. Which again, we're a little bit different. We're usually out there. We have a few people that just do the booking, and then for me, I load a lot of the trucks because I have drivers. Let's say I have 4 trucks go out. I will usually load them. Like tonight, I'll load a couple trucks. It helps me to be able to rotate, see what's on there, truck issues. So. But I'll be on the truck too. I'll probably be on the truck tonight. I like doing it. I mean, like like Cardinal games we do. I just like doing it. I like being out. The first Fridays, which have not started again. First Fridays now, they're big Friday night, downtown Phoenix, kind of art district. But sometimes I like the craziness. Cardinal games, boom, you got an hour and a half, and there's a line of people, and you got to move them. People are happy. People are. It's like you're like the parties. So private parties, graduations. I just like doing it. So I like to be out. In fact, a lot of the gourmet trucks, somebody will be on the inside. You're taking the orders through your little window. Which during COVID, we kind of did that. I always had a table out, and I'm always out in front of the people, there. So, and other people go, well, man, why are you outside? That's not the way food trucks work. Most people are inside. I go, no, I like to talk to people. They ask questions about the menu. So I just like to be out. It's a fun thing to do. And, when I get tired of it, maybe I won't anymore. But for now, I'm loading trucks. I'm working menus, running special social media, deal with mechanical issues, and I'm out doing events.
So you're hands-on, absolutely hands-on.
Very hands-on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's times where we don't a cook doesn't show up or something. In fact, I did 2 nights ago. I did a party. It was about 70 people. It wasn't too bad. And it was it was Sunday. So I was in trouble. The cooks didn't want to work. So it was Sunday. I go, no, forget it. You guys stay home. I'll do it myself. I got another person as a driver, and she just drove and I cooked. It wasn't, I know everything anyway. Not that hard. So it was a little private party at a pool. So not too bad. So I'll do that a lot of times too. So I'll just do it myself.
Now you mentioned social media. Talk a little bit about how important social media is to your food truck business.
Yeah, it is. It's super important. And in fact, we have a social media person, which when we first started, we're just one truck, everywhere we go, let's take videos, or take the shots, put it on Facebook, or now there's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, we have Twitter, everything. So, you have to do that, which is hard. You're trying to set the truck up. You got to take some pictures. Hey, we're going to be here. We're going to be there. So if you ever see the movie Chef, it's actually a great movie. Except you've seen the movie Chef, where it's about he gets a food truck. The downfall is at the end, what's he do? He gets rid of his truck and he gets a restaurant. So,
yeah.
But in fact, and I'm jumping. You got to hang on board when I'm talking.
It's okay. It's okay.
But in the movie Chef, actually, the grilled cheese truck was there when the guy goes downtown in California. And he's making grilled cheese. So anyway, the grilled cheese truck is a little bit part of that. But anyway, what were we talking about? See, I'm all over.
Social media.
Social media. Thank you. But back to Chef now. See, I'm jumping. So you see how they use social media, for everything, and the guy didn't understand it, but how important it really is. So yeah, we post everywhere we're going. You put pictures on there. We've been here. We're going there. See us here. We're running a chili cheese dogs, or we're going to run some garlic fries. See us at this roundup. So you do got to always post where you're going, and they can also order online. So we're at an apartment. They can click on it, shows our menu. They can order. So everybody's online using apps. So it's just you have to. If you're not doing that, you're a dinosaur, and you're not going to make it. So,
Wow.
and again, just ordering and picking up. I mean, that's really easy. Sometimes some events, people who are tech savvy, they'll be half of our orders will be online, and we're picking up at 5 o'clock. They come by, they're ready. We've got to get them all lined up. They come by, and, hey, my order's ready, hand it out. So it's important, just like they do at restaurants.
Yeah, and it's tough at restaurants. I mean, managing the online with the customers that you have coming to your window.
It's
How
tricky.
do you manage that?
Oh, my cooks are like, Greg, it's doing great. Well, there's actually three different things that we do, and we just did. Is a big location. Well, Verada was nearby, like a homeowners, and they love food trucks. In fact, we started that during the pandemic when the restaurants closed. Friday, then Saturday, we'd have to run it started with one truck. We went to 3 trucks plus a dessert truck every Friday and Saturday over there, and we're still doing it. So it's been great. But it's tricky because there's order ahead. So that's where people can just order, and then the order comes in. I can click on it. Yeah, I'll be ready in 10 minutes. That's order ahead. Then there's pre-order. They can order a day before. So they go to us. We set it up, and they'll say, I want to pick up my order at 6 o'clock. So we get there at 4 o'clock. We get all those pre-orders. You got to line them all up, get them ready, and then again comes pre-order. Orders are coming in. Then you've got a line of people. So you're just trying to get them all, in the right order. Orders are coming in. Let's throw them between here and there. It's tricky. And again, our cooks are like, oh my gosh. And we usually know how the day's going to go when you see those pre-orders.
Yeah.
Like the last one we had like 12 pre-orders. So I'm like, okay, I mean, it's only 12 is not too bad. But when I got 12 to 15 pre-orders, I know I'm going to get 10 more orders ahead. And that means I'm going to have 50 people online. So it's going to be a busy night. And sure enough, it was. We ended up with about 100 orders all night throughout the night within 4 hours. So yeah, it's tricky. You got to balance it all, but it's kind of hard.
Yeah, but what an amazing resource to be able to do both.
Yeah.
I've seen this a couple of times, and I'm curious if it's something you've thought about or you've seen. Services like DoorDash going to food trucks. Do you think that that's something we'll see in the future?
I think they do. There are some trucks that do that. We don't. I mean, again, I'm in contact a lot. It just doesn't work with our food.
Mm-hmm.
I always think, okay, the type like let's say quesadillas, burgers, fries, grilled cheese, Rocco's cheesesteaks, and fry bread. That's pretty much all of our trucks. And those are all items that don't hold up very well.
Right.
So those items, I wouldn't want burger and fry and put them in a box. They'll steam as they're hot, and then they'll take them, deliver them. But also picking them up, they have to find where we're at and pick them up. So there are companies that do that, and there's apps that do that. And people do want to work with us. We've had a lot of calls about it, but yeah, we don't do that. It's tricky because someone has to order. Again, they have to connect it with where we're at, our location. So if the Grubhub will have to pick up from us on top of all the other orders that we're doing, on top of the order ahead, pre-order and people online. And then you have to get those fresh and deliver them. So yeah, we haven't done that. And I think if you're a truck that does maybe like Asian food or maybe barbecue, things that seem to hold better, you might, I think they can do that, but we haven't done that.
Or a truck
this burger truck is terrible. Their fries were soggy. No, I don't want that. But yeah, so we haven't done that.
Well, I'm glad that you're hyper aware of what that end product is when it lands at the customer's door.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, you've been doing this for a very long time. If somebody out there is thinking about getting a food truck or they're just getting involved in the business, what would you go back and tell yourself to avoid or to focus on? What advice would you give a new operator?
Yeah, boy, I got a lot of advice. This could be a long question, but well, start with something that people like. I mean, our first truck again was burgers. I mean, I don't want everybody to go out there and do burgers because we're pretty strong. You want to do something that people that's a comfort food. We started again that people like. You got to be different. We run specials. You want to change it up, of course. So you have to have something new. We run a peanut butter and jelly bacon cheddar. I watch the Food Network and I come up with
Oh,
I get
great.
all those ideas. Mac and cheese, bacon cheddars. So you run your unique items, your specials, but you always have to have your, classic, your bacon cheddar, your curly fries. So you have a menu that people can connect with what they want, and you can have something different. Don't be too far out there. I mean, there's been trucks that started out, not that I don't like Greek food or Filipino food. I mean, that's great, but then you're going to tie yourself down to a limited audience or guests that are going to go to your truck. So things like burgers, Mexican, most of what we do is good for anybody. So we can do churches, we can do schools. We do a lot of schools. We do again private parties. So keep it fairly simple. Be unique. Find something that you're certainly passionate about. Don't be afraid to try new things. But you also have to go with what the customer wants, and you have to be quick. So food has to come out fairly quickly, but and it has to be good. So price yourself right. Don't overprice. I've heard that about some food trucks. I'll go to stops and I'll say, "Man, it's so expensive for the truck." So you have to be affordable, and then you have to be able to maintain the customers to keep those keep your menu affordable. But yeah, and get ready to work hard. So if you're going to be an owner operator, you are going to be in charge of maintenance. Again, you got truck issues. If you have to drive with 3 wheels, that's fine. You got to get there. So that happens sometimes. So you have to be in charge of marketing. You have to be in charge of labor. You can't rely solely on somebody else coming in. People won't come in for some issue. Don't be afraid to jump in the truck and do it yourself. So you definitely have to know how to do everything. So know your truck. Again, in about a year or two, you'll be a part-time mechanic also. So I can pretty much rewire the entire truck.
Oh, I think it is great advice. What's the future for you? Are you going to add more trucks? I mean, what's the end game here? What are you thinking?
Yeah. No, I think again with 6 teams, I never know. One more trip to Hawaii, and my sister, I'm sure, will do a Hawaiian truck. That was her last one she wanted to do. But just keep for now. Maintain. We've got again, things will change. We're going to get back to car shows and art fests and all that stuff. So and it is constantly changing. So I feel like we've got enough of what we've got, but we'll see. So just keep going, doing what we're doing. Yeah, and no brick and mortar.
No brick and mortar for sure. You're sending that message loud and clear.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to get a hold of you or order one of your trucks, how do they go about that?
Yeah. Well, we also have like a management. My sister started a management for getting trucks company, really called Food Truck Feeds. And again, it's where people can go and see all the trucks. Street Food Finder, again, is great. My truck is Burgers Amore, so burgersamore.com. And really, like, I can book for any of our other trucks. But we're all over the place. You search any of our trucks. Our main warehouse commissary is Ralph's Snack Bar. That's where all the route trucks. So it's ralphsnackbar.com. So really anywhere, yeah.
Well, I have to tell you, it's been a pleasure hearing about your story. I always love it when I talk to people, and it's not just a job. You have an incredible passion for what you do, and you love the interaction with the people, and it's kind of infectious. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. No, it's fun, and because a lot of events, like Cardinal games or First Friday, or we'll see the same people all the time, and I'll see them like, hey, Gabe, I know their name, I know what they want, just from doing it. So yeah, it's fun, and again, like at a Cardinal game, we'll get the same family comes at every game. They know they're coming to us. We'll see them over and over again. The last game, I'll give them, free drinks or free French fries or something because I want them to come in the next season. But yeah, so I do like doing it. So it's a family business.
Yeah. Well, I love that because, you don't think food truck is going to have like a clientele that you get to know because you think that truck's going to be all over the place. But my experience so far talking to food truck operators is because they're going to similar locations on a regular basis, your brand becomes very important and people will seek you out.
Yeah, yeah, and again, that's who you end up getting a lot of private parties. We did so many graduations, weddings. That started a long time ago. We're also on Wedding Wires, weddingwire.com. But yeah, we started doing weddings. Maybe I don't even know. Once we got our second truck, probably where they can book multiple trucks, and we've done weddings of 150 people where we have 3 trucks. People can go whatever truck they have. We've done after weddings where we do like sliders or sampler size things, hotel type events where there's like 8 trucks and everybody does small items and people there's a bar there and music, it's a party, and there's all these trucks and people just go to any truck they want. So I think we've done it all, but we'll see. I'm sure there's more to come.
Anything else you'd like to tell us about your business or the food truck industry?
No, we'll just again we'll see how it goes from here. And people love food trucks. I'm sure they'll continue that. And just glad to have us on today. This is awesome.
Yeah, Greg. Well, it's been a pleasure getting to know you and to hear your passion for what you do. And I think people have learned a lot from your experience. So thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me here.
Well, once again, I want to thank our special guest, Greg Colella, out of Phoenix, Arizona, and remind you that this podcast is produced and sponsored by Order Up Apps. Now, if you're a food truck operator and you're looking for a better way to food truck, you don't need to look any further than Order Up Apps for your ordering and marketing needs. They are official Square partners. They offer custom branded ordering apps and marketing tools made just for you, food truck operators. Get your 14-day free trial at orderupapps.com today. Thank you for joining us once again on this edition of A Better Way to Food Truck. My name is Jay McFarland, and I will see you next time.